Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Daryl Talks podcast. Today, we've got a hypnotherapist. We've got Lauren. We went to school together, and it's so nice catching up. So, without further ado, welcome, Lauren.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
for
on.
having me.
I was so excited when your Facebook post popped up. I was just like, oh my God, I've got so many questions.
Thank you for asking.
Oh, it's brilliant. So before we start, just want to get into a few icebreaker questions.
Okie dokie.
So first question is, if you could have dinner, spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
This is a tricky one. I've thought about this. I've actually thought about this. Jamie Reed, who is my favourite artist. So I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
He's the guy that created all of the artwork for the Sex Pistols.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's almost Andy Warhol-esque. Is it that sort of pop art?
Yeah, it is a form of pop art. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the newspaper cut-ins and stuff like that. Love that. So him, polystyrene, who was, you don't know that?
No.
The lead singer of X-Ray Specs, who were a punk band.
Oh.
So I'm proper into punk.
I
music.
thought, I was really hoping that it was like actually...
An actual piece of...
No. I
Sorry.
don't know what I thought actually. Somebody, the person who invented it.
No.
Do you know what? I just love that stuff.
I feel like I'm more interesting than that.
You are way more interesting than that. I would have slightly judged you, but only a little bit.
You might judge me on the next one.
Who is it?
Jane McDonald.
Really?
Yeah. Why? Because she cracks me up, man. I am a fan of her cruising programs, right? And I watch it purely for the end. And I don't know if you've ever seen the end, but she will absolutely royally ruin a very popular tune at the end by singing. And it is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. And I love it.
Maybe I should do that at the end of the podcast.
Hey, you could.
Just totally ruin a popular song.
Yeah, and I love it. So I would have her to just finish off the meal at the end, just sing a little, just crucify a really good song.
No, that's the oddest free.
Water table.
Water table. An absolute table.
Yeah.
Second question is, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Don't know if it's a superpower. Time travel.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to go back because I'm really... A few people have said to me, actually, you were born too late.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
Because of the stuff that I like. So I really like the punk era. So like anywhere from the 70s, I'd love to go back to like the 80s.
Yeah.
A bit Back to the Future.
I spent 3 months in the 80s. It was fantastic.
3 whole months.
3 whole months. Like the 80s were like, we need someone else.
Yeah.
In it. Bring in Daryl.
Yeah.
He'll fuck shit up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turns out it's just for my parents that I fuck shit up with. I get told that as well because I love 60s rock and roll.
Right.
And so I would have loved to have been born in maybe the late 40s, early 50s, so that I could have really enjoyed that decade.
Yeah. See, I've worked this out, and I think the ideal year for me to have been born would have been 1960. So by the time we roll around to 1975, I'm 15.
Yeah.
Loving life.
Yeah.
Get to the 80s, I'm 20. Loving life.
And then but then the 90s was good as well. It was a different good though, wasn't it?
A different good.
When all like Britpop came in and that sort of stuff.
But so I feel 1960 was the ideal time to experience all of that. 70s, 80s, 90s. Perfect age.
Also, 1 year later, Tamar Bridge.
Yes, that is true.
Imagine.
Thank God.
The excitement. All that time having to swim across.
Yeah.
To get over to England. Yeah. Third and final question. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I haven't really got one. I have done a few times, and to be fair, under the influence, obviously. So I can't even tell you what songs I did. But I would do Pretty Vacant, Pretty Vacant. That's my karaoke tune.
Pretty Vacant.
By the Sex Pistols.
No, do you know what? If I had to guess, it would have been a Sex Pistols one.
Yeah.
Are you just what's your opinion on Towers of London?
Do you know what? I used to really like them.
Yeah.
I bought their CD when it came out.
Really?
Yeah. I used to. What happened to them?
I don't know. I used to just like watching the clips of him punching people.
Yeah, because he went on Big Brother.
Yes.
And that's how I first sort of heard about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. That's something to do. Right, let's get into it then. Lauren, you are a hypnotherapist.
Yes.
What is hypnotherapy?
Hypnotherapy is just the most amazing form of deep relaxation where you can then access the subconscious and help to make desired changes, change habits, behaviors, thoughts, and feelings.
See, habits are something that I've literally read books on and things like that, because I didn't realise actually how important and detrimental to negative behaviours.
Yes.
Habits are, and breaking like the cycle and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
What made you get into it?
So I had it myself.
Right.
So mental health is something that I've struggled with in the past quite a lot. And I've had other forms of therapy, counselling, other types of talking therapy. And I suppose that throughout my life, they might have helped me a little bit, but I found I was always going backwards.
Yeah.
And then a few years ago, for whatever reason, I just found myself in a really horrible place. And I thought, I really need to sort this out because I can't continue being like this. And I just Googled one morning hypnotherapy near me, and I found a practice in Plymouth, found a hypnotherapist that worked there that I sort of thought, yeah, I quite like what they offer.
Yeah.
Which is solution-focused hypnotherapy, which is what I now do. And yeah, I booked in, and for about 10 months, I had sessions, weekly sessions, then stretched out to every other week, and then once a month and beyond. And very early on into having sessions, possibly the second session in, I was waiting for my appointment, and they had flyers on the table advertising the school run, so hypnotherapy training. And I looked at it, and it created a little spark. I thought, I'd love to do that. Bearing in mind I was like 2 sessions in to my hypnotherapy. At that point, my emotional mind, the primitive part of my mind, gave me 1,000 reasons why I couldn't do it, why I couldn't go for it. You'd be shit at this, you won't be able to do it, what if you don't like going to the school? All these feelings of anxiety giving me, my brain just telling me you can't do this. But it niggled away at me, and the change that I noticed through myself going through the therapy sessions was, by the end of it, I had my last session with the hypnotherapist, bounced out of the practice, I got straight home and I applied for the school.
Nice.
Because by that point, my mindset had completely changed. Just completely positive, and complete opposite. I was giving myself 1,000 reasons why I could do it. And that's how amazing this solution-focused hypnotherapy is. There's lots of different models. And
because there's some proper hippy-dippy stuff as well, isn't there?
There is. Yeah, there is. I mean,
What did I ask you about?
Regression.
Oh, yeah, but no, past life regression.
Yeah.
Because that's like crystally stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, not something I know much about at all. But, I mean, would be a completely different concept,
Yeah,
the
of
one
course.
that I
So
follow.
would you class yourself as more clinical?
Clinical, yeah.
Is that like
So
the
I
right?
I am a clinical
Yeah.
hypnotherapist and psychotherapist. But the model that I follow of solution focused is not looking at the past at all, not analysing the past.
Oh, cool. So it's not all that
It's
like
positive, it's forward thinking.
digging up the dirt to get to the root sort of thing.
No,
It's just moving forwards.
because you don't need to. You don't need to. And I always think you can't move forward if you're looking backwards.
Nice. That's really
So,
good.
yeah. So,
Oh, that's definitely a clip.
so yeah. And I literally, my reason for wanting to do this was to be able to help people feel the way that I felt and have felt since. My life, it literally has changed my life and
That's
put me on this amazing journey.
yeah, because you're so laid back.
I know,
Like,
which
what
is
made
new.
you?
This has come from this therapy.
Like, I always remember you as being I mean, you've always been like relatively laid back, but
Yeah,
obviously, but have you always been
no,
this?
no. And what that is, and that is something that I look a lot at during my therapy sessions, the stress bucket. I don't know.
What is the stress bucket?
The stress bucket it's kind of like a visual. If you can imagine that doesn't have to be a bucket, can be whatever you like,
Many jokes.
inside your mind, and every little bit of stress, drip, 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 drip. And I think maybe even for myself, stress comes in so many different forms. Boredom is stressful. Loneliness is stressful. All these different stresses, drip, drip, drip. That bucket gets full. It overflows. You get a reaction, your emotional reaction, anger, crying, whatever that may be. So through the hypnotherapy and through use of the sleep track, which is something that I provide for clients, it's a way of helping you to relax and inducing a REM sleep. A REM sleep. And during a REM sleep, what you're doing is you're dialing down emotional events from your emotional mind into your subconscious, making sense of it. And that reduces and dials down your stress bucket. So if you've got a problem and you say, I'm going to sleep on it, and you wake up the next day and you might have a little bit of a better idea of how you're going to deal with that problem, you might feel a lot better about it. That is basically what that is. In your REM sleep, you are dialing down, you're making sense of these problems in your subconscious, because your subconscious can process a million different things all at the same time. Whereas your conscious, the conscious part of your mind, can deal with one thing.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So are you a bit of a sleep pro then?
I have learned a lot about the importance of sleep.
Because there's so much on it.
Yeah.
So there was a time, the reason I asked this is because I've always struggled with sleep until my daughter was born. And then I sleep so heavy and well, which is perfect for my wife, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to know what happened to me that for 34 years.
That's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I just became content.
Yeah.
And then just thought, do you know what? It's time to catch up now.
It's time to catch up. 34 years.
Honestly, but it literally has been that bad.
Yeah. It could just be contentment.
Yeah,
Here
that's
it is.
so weird.
Yeah. But like if you've got a busy brain and stuff going on, and you know what it's like, if you've got problems and you lie awake at night worrying or thinking.
Yeah, like I suffer from anxiety.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that was undiagnosed for maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And before I forget to ask, hypnotherapy, man on stage.
Yeah.
Doing, you're getting very sleepy.
Sleepy.
What's the difference?
The difference is, in my opinion, stage hypnosis is very much with the audience in mind. It's for entertainment.
Yeah.
It's, if you've got somebody volunteering in that audience that will happily get up on stage to dance around clucking like a chicken, they'll do it. Do you know what I mean?
Because I've always wanted to be hypnotised.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
My mum was once on holiday.
Right.
And she had a police hat on And she's a very passive person. She had a police hat on with a siren going around, and she was arresting people outside of the hotel. Like, that is madness.
It is, but it's still based on suggestibility. And if you want to do those things, you will. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to, you will. You will.
So somebody comes in and says, let's just think of an example. I would like to give up smoking.
Mm-hmm. With things like smoking, vaping, I do just a one-off 2-hour session.
No way.
Yeah.
Is it that easy?
Yeah. If you want to do it. If you want to do it, you will do it.
My God. Saying that, I read a book that was a bit like hypnotherapy for smoking.
Was it that? Is it Alan
Carr? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I read about 2 chapters, went out for a cigarette, and I didn't want that cigarette at all.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
It is powerful. So with a smoking cessation, we'll spend the first part information gathering.
Yeah.
Why do you want to stop? Have you tried to stop before? What happens when you try to stop? Do you enjoy it? What do you enjoy? Are you addicted?
That's the hardest bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I enjoy vaping. I enjoyed smoking. But
do you?
No. Do you know what I enjoy? I enjoy being out in the smoking shelter, having the best conversations.
Exactly. See, this is a thing. This is a thing. So then we'll also look at all the stuff that goes into tobacco or cigarettes or vape.
You go deep
the
into it.
Chemicals in vapes. If it's vaping, you want to stop. And yeah, we'll go through. We'll have quite a long chat.
Yeah.
And ultimately, at the end of that, if you want to go through with it, then we will do the trance work.
Oh, okay. And how does trance work?
Trance work. So it is.
Have you got to have a certain voice for it?
I don't really put on a voice.
Hello.
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of.
I feel like I would have gone sex line rather than like. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that would give off the wrong idea.
It's I probably talk a lot calmer, slower. You want people to relax.
Yeah. Do you have like a script, or do you just kind of like do it on the...
I do a bit of both at the moment, so I can go script free, but there are times where I will use a script. Depends what we're talking about, really, what it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because ultimately, I need to get it right as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be suddenly fumbling over my words when I've got someone trying to relax. Because
yeah, that's fair.
So
that's a good point, actually. Never really thought of it like that. Like, if you cock up, all of a sudden that trance, you have to start again, I guess.
Yeah, and actually, I think if you've got somebody that's already relaxed, they've gone into that deep state of relaxation, they won't actually notice. They'll be fully aware, but it won't resonate with them because they'll be that relaxed and into it.
Have you done any like really weird ones?
Not as yet.
Like, have you heard of any weird ones?
Do you know what? When I was doing my training and we were going through fears and phobias, I think that's probably where you'd be likely to get something unusual.
Yeah.
We looked at and talked about somebody that had a fear of or phobia of buttons, as in what's on your jacket or your shirt.
No way.
And you think, how? Do you know what I mean? How?
Yeah, I just feel sorry for that person because they must feel like they're broken.
Yeah. And so, it actually transpired that the button became a trigger for them literally years and years and years and years ago when they were at school getting the cane. And as they were getting the cane, they just spotted a single button on the floor.
Oh, God.
So that became the stimulus for the phobia, became the trigger. Because phobias are created generally through extreme stress and trauma. So going back to the stress bucket.
Yeah.
Getting the cane at school, mega stress. That bucket is filling right up. And at the point that bucket overspilled with the stress, he spotted the button.
Yeah.
And that pattern matches.
Isn't it so annoying that one very insignificant moment can have such a significant
Yeah.
impact later on in
Yeah.
life
Or
and
when
stuff.
if you like think, oh my God, a phobia of buttons, that's really unusual. When you actually establish the cause of it, it's nothing to do with the button.
Hmm.
It was the situation at the time, and it just so happened that that button became the trigger.
No way. And I guess you've got to build up so much trust, haven't you? Because there's like a massive stigma on the I don't know whether I'm saying the ethic of it. Because what happens if you, whilst they're trancing, they open the wrong door? Is that a thing? Or
No, I mean,
do you see what I'm trying to get
I
at?
know what you're saying. It's incredibly guided. So as the hypnotherapist, I am guiding them the full way.
Okay.
The full way.
So you are at that time you are completely in control of the guide.
I am guiding them, but the client is the one that's in control the whole time.
Oh, fair.
So yeah, they will always be aware and be in control. And I mean the first half of my sessions are where we look at the psychotherapy side of things, which is we look at techniques, other interventions, so like a bit of CBT therapy, stuff like that. And being solution focused, we are positive the whole time. We are looking at what's good. What are you coping well with? Utilizing strengths, skills. What can you achieve? What else can you achieve? What small steps can you take? So by the time we get to do the hypnosis part of the session, that client is completely in what is their left prefrontal cortex, which is their positive part of their mind. So they are fully positive, comfortable, calm, ready to relax.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so during the hypnosis, they are in a really, really good place before they even get to that part.
And can anybody be put in that deep state?
Yes. I mean, only, like I say, the client is in control.
They've got to be willing.
They have to be willing. But, so, as I mentioned before, after an initial consultation, I will send a client my sleep track, which they can listen to before they go to bed.
Is that you talking?
That is me talking them to sleep. Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. And more
that's what I do with the podcast. Yeah, because they start listening to it and then they're bored out of their tits and they fall asleep to it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry, I've stolen your thunder there.
You have. You actually have.
Oh, what? So you've recorded.
So I've recorded a sleep track. So there's the backing track that I use throughout sessions. So one, it gets client used to that. It gets them used to my voice. It helps them to learn to relax. They can know what to expect. And it relaxes them enough that they will hopefully have a really decent, good night's sleep. Lots of REM, reducing that stress bucket. So by the time we actually do the sessions, they've got that trigger. They hear the music. They've been listening to it every night. They know the cues. It's like a trigger to relax. The good thing about it is it doesn't matter if you press play and fall asleep straight away. As long as it's playing, it's going in.
Yeah. Because I remember, because I was a bit poorly once, and I tried listening to, I tried having a sleep with one of those YouTube guys talking, and I ended up nearly having an argument with that bloke who was chatting, because it was doing my nothing. But
what would you have done if he'd argued back?
Well, I think I'd have had to call someone. Help. Finally happened. When you have those times where you say you've had a really, really shitty day, do you always use those techniques, or do you go into I'm the patient mode, or is it completely different? Is it that's my profession?
No, do you know what I mean, the change it had on me having this therapy is that all of those things that used to fill my mind, fill up that stress bucket, if somebody makes a little comment and suddenly that is spiraling around, and at work or whatever, it spirals around your head and you can't stop thinking.
I'm terrible for that.
Yeah, that's stopped happening. I thought, do you know what? That isn't there are, if you say morning to someone and you get a bit of a shitty response back, previously I used to think, what have I done wrong? They hate me. They literally hate my guts.
That is me.
They literally hate me. Now, if that happens, I'm just, maybe they're having a bad day. You don't know what someone's got going on at home.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do. And that is now how I think. So my thought process to stuff has changed. So a lot of stuff that used to bother me or would niggle at me or stress me out doesn't anymore. And when I do have a bad day.
Like, do you get angry?
Yeah, I do. I do get angry occasionally. But then I try and, I think a classic example, road rage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because that's like 0 to 100, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, something might piss me off a lot on the road.
You just put on your sleep track.
Yeah. Yeah. While I'm driving. And then I'll just think, do you know what? It's fine. Don't let it ruin your day. That one little thing, on the way to work in the morning.
Yeah.
That could end up just ruining your whole day. If you start the day positive things will happen.
Yeah. What are good habits to be positive then? I appreciate that's probably the most vague question ever.
Good habits. Being grateful.
Nice. That's a good one.
Being grateful.
More people should be more grateful.
Yeah.
That is very good.
Even little things. Don't sort of be too hard on yourself, I think. There's a lot of people who've got that inner critic in their mind. Challenge it. Go back to it. If it tells you you're really rubbish at that, go back to it and say, actually, I'm trying my best. And there's a positive in anything.
Yeah, that's like...
Take a negative and find the positive in.
Yeah, like I'm positive they're an arsehole.
Right. Yeah.
I am 100% positive.
And that is their problem, not mine.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
Yeah, see, I kind of like, I wish bad things on them. Like, I really hope they stub their toe later on, or like they turn their pillow over and it's warm. Just
the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst.
Yeah, I'm evil basically. So, what do you do in terms of like follow up then? Is it just like a so for example that smoking one?
Yeah.
It's just like a one-stop shop. So you just pop in.
Smoking is a one-off 2-hour session, but other issues, problems
like alcohol abuse, for example.
Yeah. So that would be a number of sessions.
Yeah.
Generally, it's hard you can't sort of put a number.
No, of course.
On how many sessions someone's going to need. It depends on the issue and the sort of severity of it. Obviously, further along, you might say, come every other week, or it depends how you're doing it. If once you start to create that positive change, you can extend. You cope, and you're doing amazing.
No, that's really good.
And you can come back anytime. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you have finished 6 months ago, but think actually I might need a little bit of help with this.
Yeah.
Come back again.
So nice.
It's a long time, but the changes that can be made, that the person can create, literally just life changing. Do you know what I mean? It's so worth it. If you can commit to it and you can do the work in between, and by work in between, it's literally listen to the sleep track every night if possible, if not as often as possible. The more you listen to it, the better. And the goals that we set each week during a session, and they are literally the tiniest of goals. And what you're doing with that is you're accomplishing that goal. You're expanding your comfort zone, ultimately leading to what your desired therapy goal is, whether that's attending Wembley Stadium full of 1,000 people and you've got a real anxiety of being in crowded places, whether that's getting on a plane to fly for the first time. It's all relative and aiming towards your ultimate goal.
That's cool. And you mentioned earlier, like, you do stuff on like confidence as well. like
do you
confidence
know,
builders and
confidence is probably one of the most common problems or issues that someone comes to me with.
no way.
Yeah, so I mean, like stress and anxiety is a big one for a lot of people, depression. But confidence plays a huge part in a lot of people's problems. Self-confidence, self-esteem.
Yeah, I think because I think, and I'm only talking genuinely from personal experience here, confidence can be faked. I am so good at it.
Yeah,
So good at it. Like in my head, I've perfected it because I can just switch it on and I'm fine.
yeah.
But self-confidence cannot be faked.
No,
Like
no,
it's so see-through.
no.
That yeah,
And I've heard that. I've heard that from other people as well, that, nobody realizes that they've got these self-confidence issues because they come across as the most confident person in the world.
yeah,
Can stand up in front of thousands of people and do a talk or a presentation. But self-confidence is,
yeah.
it's a really interesting one. How you got those skills because you can
Yeah,
portray
'cause
it.
I imagine maybe a few years ago, if I was to come to you and I wouldn't have taken it as seriously, I would have thought I'd have known better. Have you ever had those like difficult people?
Not not so much. No, I wouldn't say difficult, but like during the initial consultation with someone, it's super important that they understand what's expected of them and what they can expect from me. And we can form that therapy relationship because
Yeah,
it has to work between us. And they have to understand the part that they play in order to achieve what they want to achieve. So naively, I can't remember if I said earlier, when I was looking to get some help for myself, I looked up hypnotherapy naively and completely incorrectly, thinking I need to find someone that can solve all my problems for me because I clearly can't
yeah.
do it
So it's
myself.
not a case of, right, I'm gonna put you in a trance. I'm gonna go,
You're not going to do this anymore. You're going to be this.
yeah, like on
Not at all.
stage,
Not at
they
all.
wake up and all of a sudden they're clucking like a chicken.
Yeah, not at all.
It's
No.
not.
And that is a common misconception, is that it's some form of brainwashing, or literally hypnotherapists are magicians and they're going to wave a wand and you're going to be completely different and fine.
Yeah,
But
you've got to help that person overcome that fault as well,
yeah,
haven't you?
yeah. So I guide them, I teach them techniques using other interventions, like I mentioned, CBT is one.
So for anybody who doesn't know, that's cognitive behavioural therapy.
Yes.
I only know it because I've done it.
Yeah. CBT is good. CBT is good. And yes, so other interventions, there's work involved for the client, but it's very light work. And actually, I think regardless of what you come to a session with, what issues you've got, the process of the hypnotherapy sessions, of my sessions, they can actually be quite enjoyable.
I can imagine
It's a
that.
nice therapy.
I was going to say, like, of all the therapies,
It's very, very nice.
You know, like, yeah, it's like aqua therapy.
Like
going in a bath and you're just relaxing, you're
Yeah.
chilling.
And that is literally what it is. And some people, I think, just need to take that hour out for themselves to have that time to relax.
Do you get people that just check in? Like in the films, they have I see my therapist every week just because.
Yeah.
Is it not like the films?
No. I mean, maybe some people do that. I've not encountered anybody like that yet.
Are there like any side effects to hypnotherapy? So if you come out of a session, like, should you drive?
Yeah, you can drive.
Oh, so you can like wake up invigorated?
Yeah. So you're not going to be asleep. You will be completely aware. You're conscious. You will just be super relaxed. Really relaxed. And a lot of people, and I would agree with this, from having it myself. They say it feels like you're floating
No
because your
way.
body, your whole body relaxes. Your whole body, your mind relaxes. You become almost weightless. It's like a heavy, just a really, really that, the feeling just as you're about to go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
That little amazing
Oh,
feeling.
no way.
That's what it's like. And you will come back fully aware, conscious, and hopefully absolutely buzzing, because it's all positive and it's all forward thinking, moving forward, motivating.
So is meditation a form of hypnotherapy?
Meditation is it's a way of relaxing. One thing that another intervention that I look at during sessions is mindfulness.
I get an app
Dear.
and it pops up on my watch every now and again, usually when one of the children are screaming, and it says, take a minute to yourself. And I go to Liz, I'm really sorry. I've got to go. Yeah. So what is mindfulness?
Mindfulness, different to meditation. Meditation is to be like zoning out. Mindfulness is remaining in the present. So yeah, you stop. You might want to close your eyes. You can do mindfulness when you're out walking, exercising.
Is that when you just you hear stuff, you listen, and you can hear, you pick up on a bird?
What you can see, what you can hear, notice the shapes of the things around you, what you can smell, what you can hear, and just being present in the moment. And any thoughts outside of the present that come into your mind, you just let them drift through. Don't stop and think about them. So like mindful breathing, you can do breathing exercises for mindfulness. Mindful breathing is literally focusing on your breath, in, out breaths. And that is literally all you are focusing on. No other little thoughts, nothing. What am I having for tea later?
Yeah.
What happened at work today? What am I doing? Nothing. You're literally
it's
focusing
harder than
on
it looks, though, isn't it?
It is hard, and it takes practice.
Yeah, because
if you do it for 10 minutes a day,
your mind's like fighting back at you.
It's hard. But then you can do, there's one technique where it's like 10 breaths in and out. And every time, so you're counting. Every time your mind wanders, you start again. And it's a good way of practicing and training yourself to really be in the present and just focus on your breathing. But yeah, it does take time. But if you were to do that for 10 minutes a day, there's been results that have been phenomenal for improvements people have made.
Like
health-wise and well-being. Just taking that time out, 10 minutes a day is not a lot. If you put your mind to it and think, do you know what, I'm just going to sit on my bed or whatever and just do this for 10 minutes.
There's so many misconceptions about hypnotherapy, but actually the science is coming through now a little bit, isn't it? Like,
definitely.
The case studies are getting more and more on how beneficial it is.
Yeah.
And how quickly things can be solved.
Yeah.
Through touching the subconscious.
Yeah.
That not necessarily diving into it, but
absolutely, and
just tickling it a bit.
Yeah, and through my practice, we do look at the latest neuroscientific research. And
yeah, because I guess you've got to be like shit hot with
the brain. So I mean, yeah, through all of my sessions with a client, initial consultation, we'll do a brain explanation. I'll explain parts of the brain, parts of the mind, how they work, what they do. And that in itself, the amount of times I've done a brain explanation to a client and they've gone, oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah, that's what happens to me. Oh yeah. And they get an understanding then suddenly of why they think the way they do, why they're always putting themselves off of doing something, why they might feel a certain way. Why does this make them feel anxious? What is it about this that makes them happy? Why do they feel sad or angry when this happens? And just having that understanding of it, hang on a minute, that's that part of my brain kicking off, is a really good visual, I think, for someone to take away. And then throughout our sessions, we do brain revision. So we'll talk about the week that they've had.
Like, I have had the itchiest prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
It's been
Yeah.
niggling me.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's like, they've been in a situation and they felt uncomfortable, they felt awkward, and then we'll go back and revise the brain and say, well, that is that part of your mind. And then we link that in to then the later part of the session, doing the hypnotherapy, the hypnosis.
Yeah, so like there's quite a bit of foreplay, isn't there?
There's a good 30 minutes. A good 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, like which again you don't think about. You just think,
that is the so being a psychotherapist as well, that is that part of the session. That first part is a psychotherapy, the talking part of
yeah,
the therapy. But that whole time, you're getting the client relaxed, calm, comfortable, getting that left prefrontal cortex
yeah.
going, which is your positive part.
Like honestly, I just find the whole thing so interesting.
It is interesting. It is very interesting, and it's so.
Are you like learning all the time?
Learning literally all the time.
How long have you been? I guess Is it qualified?
Yeah.
Or?
I've been qualified for literally only a few months.
No way.
Yeah.
So have you had to like? How does the qualification bit work then?
So I did my training, qualified, got the certificate as a practitioner, and then I've gone on to do a further qualification, which has been submitted. So then I'll get further.
Oh, cool. So like, what next for you? Because obviously you mentioned you only do this at the moment, like part-time. With.
And I do it online as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, which is cool.
That is cool. Is that like face-to-face online?
Yeah, so via Zoom or any platform really. But yeah, Zoom I use quite a lot, and it works really well, and it is literally just as effective as being face-to-face with someone.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I've been so afraid to do a Zoom podcast because I always feel like I'm missing out on the intimacy of it all. But if it works for hypnotherapy,
yeah,
it's gonna work. Do you know what?
It is just as effective. I mean, the ideal thing is that somebody can do it from the comfort of their own home, their own space, which takes that sort of potential anxiety out of it for them.
Yeah, it takes out the like feeling like you're going to hospital.
Yeah,
or like
they
you're going to be lying on a couch somewhere.
Yeah, wherever they are, they can do it. So, I'm not limited to just
like
local. On a train. Yeah. But there's no limits to the sort of, I guess, probably the geographics. Do you know what I mean? You can do it wherever you are in the world.
No, that opens up a lot of.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I think this is something that's really taken off probably since COVID, when a lot of stuff had to be done virtually or online. And all these platforms really opened up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it literally is just as effective. All it needs is reliable internet, obviously, to be able to see and hear each other.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No way.
Yeah. It's super cool.
That is super cool.
It is cool.
So I guess the main aim is to build up some.
Definitely, yeah. I'd love to just
bigger base and then
build up and eventually actually have a practice as well.
Yeah, like a place.
Yeah, to do in person as well as online.
Nice.
Yeah, that is the plan. That's what I'm aiming for.
Oh my God, I feel like I've had therapy. Like, yeah, man. Just forget the world. Seeing all these people, though, is it not like?
It's amazing.
How do you compartmentalize?
I think self-awareness is super important. And also for the client as well. Do you know what I mean? If I've not had a good day, I can't.
That's what I mean. Like, you've got to like switch it on. Like,
yeah, absolutely. But do you know what? Like, I'm so passionate and I love doing this so much. I am buzzing when if I'm seeing a client and straight after seeing a client, because you just really start seeing these positive changes and achievements within people. And you know that you've helped them, and you're helping them get to where they want to be. And you can visually see the changes in some people.
Yeah.
And it's just the most amazing feeling. And that is my serotonin boost.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what makes me happy. That puts me in that positive place. So when I finish a session, I'm absolutely buzzing.
Oh,
I'm so happy to have helped somebody get to where they are.
Cool. So where do we find you?
You can find my Facebook page.
Yep.
Lauren Warne Hypnotherapy. Also on Instagram.
Also on Instagram?
Yeah, you can WhatsApp me. My contact number, you can email me. It's all on my pages. Or my website, laurenwarnehypnotherapy.com.
Oh my goodness. She's got a website, people.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, only I think if somebody's listening that is thinking about having hypnotherapy or has got an issue or a problem that they think hypnotherapy might be able to help with, absolutely take that first step and go for it. You've got nothing to lose. And whether that is coming to see me or another hypnotherapist, you will just be made to feel completely comfortable and at ease from the very beginning. If you've got something that you want to change in your life, an issue that you want help with, absolutely give it a go, because it can be, if you're committed to it, it can be life-changing. And that is me speaking from genuine experience.
I've got another question now. Have you, is there a consultation bit before they turn up?
Yes.
So
initial consultation, and that is free.
Was what I was going to ask.
That is about 60 minutes, and that is literally me getting to know you, you getting to know me,
and seeing whether you're a match, you're a fit.
Yeah, and explaining how my sessions run, and helping the client to understand how it all works.
That's cool.
And then you will get the access to my sleep track.
So, at the moment, are you just online?
Yes.
Yes. No couches.
No yeah, you provide your own couch. Provide your own couch. Your sofa, your bed, wherever you are most comfortable. I do not provide that currently.
No, that's fair enough. Well, Lauren, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
All your links will be posted in the description and wherever I can.
Thank you.
Because I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you very much.
And I am so glad that I finally managed to get a hypnotherapist
yes.
on. It was on the not the stress bucket list, but the normal bucket list. How cheesy could that be for us? Guys, I really, really hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, or please reach out to the professionals. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Cheers.